One of football's premier open field runners, the former Arkansas star is the USFL's third leading rusher, and he leads the league with 10 rushing touchdowns. Last week, Anderson displayed his skills as a pass receiver, catching a career-high 9 passes, 2 for TDs, as the Bandits defeated Jacksonville. On defense, the Bandits have been led by nose tackle Fred Nordgren. The secretary of the Bandit defense has personally introduced himself to several USFL quarterbacks, including the Generals' Doug Flutie. Nordgren and his mates have accounted for 3 touchdowns and 19 takeaways in 1985. If Gary Anderson is football's most versatile back, then the Denver Gold's Bill Johnson may be the most powerful. Last week, Johnson rushed for a club record 165 yards in a 28-7 win over Arizona. Johnson's punishing style has propelled him to pay dirt, a club-leading 6 times in '85. Defensively, the Gold sack specialist is Calvin Turner, who registered 4 sacks against Arizona last week. Tonight, it's Turner in the Gold versus Bandit Ball on ESPN. Well, weathercasters were predicting 2 to 3 inches of rain in Tampa for this afternoon. Fortunately, that rain moved to the south, and we have a beautiful night for football in South Florida. This is an important game because Tampa Bay, 5-2, with a win tonight, could move into a tie with Birmingham for the Eastern Conference lead. Denver, on the other hand, with sole possession right now, and a win would keep them in sole possession of the top spot in the Western Conference. Hi, everybody. I'm Roger. To kick off, he will have the wind to his back as Denver will send it down. Tampa Bay going against the wind as we get set to go. Denver has won 3 games in a row. Tampa Bay 16 of their last 19 in regular season play. That's Steve Carter. Fumble. Ball is loose. Kicked around. And the official will blow it dead. And a Tampa Bay player is down on the 14-yard line. Steve Carter got the kickoff, was hit immediately as John Reeves will bring his team out on the field to put it in play. Let's take a look, Mike.
I'll tell you, one of the things that Steve Spurrier, the head coach of the Bandits, had to worry about was a guy named John Nevins and the rest of the special teamers. You see 59 in there, Nevins. And there are 2 or 3 more Denver Gold players who make him cough up the football.
Ernie Carswell, 24, was the man down low. And the Tampa Bay player is still down on the field. That is, Carter has been helped off the field. It appears to be an injury to the right knee. We'll update you on his status as the game progresses. 1st and 10 for Tampa Bay. John Reeves is a quarterback. Greg Boone and Gary Anderson, the running backs. Boone is the lone setback as they'll bring Anderson to the near side on 1st and 10.
There's 11 up, Roger. All 11 Gold defenders right on the line. Reeves trying to check off.
And he is hit. 25, Darrell Hemphill comes in from the outside and nails John Reeves at the 5-yard line. And Mike, you touched on it at the top. Not a fancy name, 11 up.
11 players get right up on the line of scrimmage, and what Reeves has to do is, from his experience, pick out which man is blitzing, which one's dropping off to make the coverage. Obviously, he didn't pick out Hemphill because he was right there to take it.
2nd and 19. Lone setback is Gary Anderson. This time they're in an 8-3. Down the middle, almost intercepted. 13, David Martin was the man back deep. And almost an interception as John Reeves will be faced with the 3rd down. Anderson and Boone are the running backs. Brodsky, Spencer Jackson, the wide receivers. Marvin Harvey, the tight end. Reggie Smith, 65. Nathaniel Newton, 61. They are the right side of the line. Lee North is the center. Chuck Pitcock, 64. And Dan Fike, 73, the left tackle. On a 3rd down and 19. Ball's at the 6-yard line. That's Gary Anderson. Anderson might get 3 yards on the play. Bruce Thornton, number 60, was the man that made the tackle. So Tampa Bay will be faced with a punting situation, and Mike, Denver did exactly what they wanted to do against John Reeves.
If you're going to stop that offense, if you're going to stop the offense, you've got to play defense against Bandit ball, and they obviously did it.
The Z-Man, Zenon Andrushishin. He does both the punting and the place kicking. He's standing back halfway deep in the end zone. Barely got that punt away. Martin, number 13, takes it at the 49. Martin has got room. Martin has got the Z-Man in front of him, and he makes the tackle at the 12-yard line. David Martin, who had not returned punts for the last 3 weeks because of a shoulder injury, starts off with a bang as he takes it from the 50 down to the 13.
Plus, Roger, David Martin, number 13, has the Tampa Bay Bandits number. He's run back a punt 78 yards. He's picked off a couple of passes in his 3-year career against Tampa Bay, and he's really been a thorn in their side, and he continues to be a thorn. Good thing for the old UCLA alumnus, he wouldn't have made the tackle. David had been in the end zone.
These two teams have played 3 times before, and there's always been a duel between Martin and Reeves.
Yes.
As the Gold has it, 1st and 10. Evans is the quarterback. Bill Johnson is the lone setback. Handoff to Bill Johnson, stumbles behind the line of scrimmage. Never really got his footing, as we'll set the Denver Gold offense for you. Matt Miller, 76, the right tackle. Mike Neese, 74, the right guard. Tom Davis, 52, is the center. George Yarno, 66, the left guard. Greg Fiesel, 75, the left tackle. Lonnie Turner, 82. Vincent White, 44. Leonard Harris, 80. And Mark Lewis, 88, the receivers. And Lewis has been the favorite of Vince Evans in recent weeks.
Evans has now found the receiver, the out man. When he gets in trouble, he looks for Mark Lewis.
2nd and 9. Leonard Harris in motion to the far side. Off the hand of Mark Lewis. Back in the coverage, 25, Alvin Bailey, as we set Tampa for you defensively. Fred Nordgren, 68, is a nose tackle. Clark, 79, and Butler, 77, the ends. Linebackers are James Harrell, had a couple interceptions last week. Al Richardson, 59. Kelly Kirchbaum, 51. Alonzo Johnson, 58. Warren Hanna, 20, is the left corner, getting the start tonight in place of Bruce Vaughn. Anderson, 26. Dwayne and Marcus Quinn, 40, the safeties. And Bailey, the man who is back in the coverage, number 25, at the right corner. 3rd down and 9. Bill Johnson. Johnson right at the 5-yard line. He is a tough man to bring down. Dwayne Anderson, 26, Alvin Bailey, Kirchbaum, 51, all there. Kirchbaum is playing with a hyperextended left elbow, and that'll bring up a 4th down situation.
Tampa Bay is normally a 3-down lineman, 4 linebacker defense. Against the Gold, they're playing 4 down linemen, 3 linebackers, and may play as little as 1 linebacker with 6 defensive backs. Since they were inside the 20-yard line, though, Roger, but first of all, they are going with the 4 down lineman.
Brian Spielman to attempt the field goal. 4th down situation, 3 yards to go. Ball right about the 5-yard line. Galliano will place it down at the 12. Call it a 22-yard attempt. He is 4 out of 4 from that range so far in the year. Make it 5 out of 5 for Brian Spielman. Denver 3, Tampa Bay nothing. And that man right there, Brian Spielman, with the 22-yard field goal, and Denver with a 3-0 lead over Tampa Bay. Give David Martin credit for returning that punt down to the 12-yard line. By the way, Carter, who was injured on the opening kickoff, Steve Carter, has a bruised right kneecap, and he should return, as Williams, 44, Ricky Williams, and 34, Bobby Futrell, will be back to return the kickoff. And there's a look at Carter.
Denver special teams will get. Don't watch out.
Williams at the 3-yard line. Penalty marker is down as John Nevins, number 59, a train wreck looking for a place to happen, makes the tackle. But there is a penalty flag down. There's a look at Nevins. Cal State Fullerton.
Talked to his defensive coach today, and I asked him if he could keep that wildness under control. And, you know, he said, Mike, I give He gives 100% every minute. Said every once in a while he gets out of hand, but I just let him go. If I coach him, then he's probably going to make some mistakes. So he just lets him be a wild man.
There's a look at Mouse Davis. He has really got his team on the right track. 5-2 on the season, coming off a 28-7 win over Arizona, and their defense has just been outstanding. They've allowed 26 points in the last 12 quarters of football.
Mouse Davis wasn't very happy with what the head coach of the Bandits said. The run and shoot was boring. Mouse says, we'll show him.
Spurrier didn't really say that, did he?
Well,
he said it was interpreted that way. I don't know if he said that.
All right.
Penalty was against Tampa Bay. 1st and 10 from the 9-yard line. That's Larry Brodsky, who makes the reception at the 23-yard line. Nate Miller on the coverage. Brodsky, a possession receiver, last week over 100 yards in receptions. First time that's ever happened in his career.
John Reeves is the kind of quarterback who likes receivers who can catch the football, Roger. Not make the tough catch, but make the catch consistently. And Brodsky's that kind of, he has to be, and got the speed.
Boone and Anderson, the running backs. 1st and 10 from the 23. This is Gary Anderson. Anderson up to the 25-yard line. Stan Blinka, number 50, the veteran from Sam Houston State, who's had 28 tackles so far on the year. Be interesting to see how much they use Blinka in there tonight, because Denver's going to do some different things on defense.
They'll bring in the 5th defensive back, and Stan's usually the one that comes out. But the key to it is John Nevin's such a wild man that the 2 outside linebackers, McKibben and Blinka, can't make the great plays, but they can't make the mistakes either, because they're going to have to cover up when Nevins gets wild.
Brodsky will come to the near side. Spencer Jackson split to the top of your screen on 2nd and 8 from the 25-yard line. Going to Brodsky, and he is driven out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Once again, Nate Miller, who has really had an outstanding season for the Denver Gold, makes the tackle.
Brodsky, again, the possession receiver. And what they'll do, they'll make an adjustment on defense. They'll put a linebacker up underneath to discourage Reeves from throwing the out. You see there's no one in front of Brodsky. And Miller pretty much has to play the deep route. Got to take away the inside, and they'll keep throwing that until they get the inside linebacker to cover.
Brodsky, coached by his father in high school. 5 catches, 101 yards last week and a touchdown. This is Greg Boone. Boone is driven out at the 36-yard line. Nate Miller and Steve Trimble, 47, come over to make the tackle. Boone's an interesting case. 5'9", 196 pounds from Duke. Reported to camp this year, overweight. Spurrier said wasn't so much that he was overweight, he just didn't work out at all. He has been given the opportunity to carry the ball on a few occasions, but he's not really produced.
What happens is when you got a great back like Anderson, he gets all the carries, and I'm sure Boone got a little disappointed on that. But he's going to have to play, or they'll find somebody else to block.
Anderson across the 35 to the 37-yard line. Mike McKibben, 53, one of the men there for the Denver Gold, and also Doug Mikolas, the rookie out of Portland State. And in Fred Nordgren and Mikolas, we've got 2 guys from Portland State, a school known for its offense when Mouse Davis was there, who are pretty darn good defensive players.
It's kind of like the BYU kids. Nobody remembers anybody from the defense, except they just keep popping up everywhere in the NFL, the USFL. Good players.
3rd down and 7. Ball at the 37-yard line. 8:45 to go in the first quarter. And Denver leads at 3-0. Reeves throwing a quick out, and he's got his man. That's his tight end, Marvin Harvey. Jeff Delaney, the veteran, was on the coverage. Not quite enough for the first down.
Jeff Delaney, the nickel back in this situation. They had 10 players up, and Delaney's got the back out of the backfield, and Reeves spotted it right away. He knew that his tight end's got a little more speed than Jeff Delaney, and he made it real quick. Turner trying to make the big pass rush. He had a couple of sacks last week, and he slipped on the turf. And believe me, there's no rain here, Roger.
4th and 3, and we'll tell you this guy from the same school that produced Mike Hafner, UCLA. The Z-Man sends it down to number 13, David Martin, who's going to let it roll. And it'll come to a halt at the 15-yard line. Andrusichin, averaging over 41 yards a punt this year, nails that one, 44. Sure to catch that game coming up on ESPN. 1st and 10, ball at the 15-yard line for Vince Evans and the Denver Gold. Vincent White in motion to the near side. And that's Bill Johnson. Look at the power as Johnson drives over the 20 to the 21-yard line. Mike Butler, 77, and James Harrell went along for the ride.
James Harrell, number 50, is pretty much assigned to number 34, Johnson. Johnson on one of the 3 running plays in the run and shoot. That's the inside trap play. And guess who's there? Number 50 gets a piece of it.
Bill Johnson, who's having a great year. A lot of people are calling him Billy. And he said, no, I don't want to be called Billy. He says, I don't like it. He says, my girlfriend even calls me Billy. Well, I'll let her get away with it.
Yes.
2nd and 4 from the 21. Evans swings it out to the far side. That's Leonard Harris, who's in first down territory. Al Richardson comes up to make the tackle as Harris gets up to the 27-yard line. Harris came into the game 29 receptions for over 300 yards and a couple of touchdowns. And Evans finds somebody early, Mike, and he kind of falls in love with it.
Yes, and he has a tendency to do that in the run and shoot. You can't, though. You've got to read all your receivers. And a lot of times he'll miss the open receiver going for his favorite at the moment, and that's tough in the run and shoot.
That is Harris in motion to the far side. 1st and 10 for the Denver Gold. Whoa! Vincent White is nailed by Kelly Kirchbaum, who came into the game with 45 tackles on the season. And he let Vincent know that that's his territory.
Kirchbaum came in with a hyperextended elbow, too, and people were wondering if he'd be in good shape. I think Vincent White will attest to it right now after that hit. Caught him in the air. Vince Evans, too. You'll take a lot of pressure in the run and shoot. Throwing on the run, watch him get drilled afterwards. They just give him a love tap. Love tap.
Butler didn't want to hurt him. 2nd and 7. Harris in motion once again to the far side. Evans has got 88, excuse me, make that 89, Troy Johnson, who makes his first reception of the year. Troy Johnson, a rookie from Southern.
Tom Davis against Nordgren. And watch the extra effort. Look at him. He goes through 3 blockers, down, back up again after Evans. Not quite enough. But we're going to see 68 right up on number 8's face most of the evening.
Well, he's going to get double teamed a lot there, as you saw Nice 74 also pick him up. So Troy Johnson makes his first reception of the year, and it's a first down. 1st and 10 as White goes in motion back to the far side. Penalty markers down. Bill Johnson across the 45 to the 47-yard line. And Kelly Kirchbaum makes the tackle. The Denver Gold last week in their 28-7 win over Arizona, their 3rd straight victory, set 9 new team records. As 75 for the Gold, Greg Fiesel is down on the ground.
Number 88.
Mark Lukane for the Denver Gold. Greg Fiesel's been helped from the field, an injury to his right knee. And 78, Ray Wagner, 6'3", 280, 3rd-year professional from Kent State, will take his place at the left tackle position. Vincent White in motion to the near side. Evans sidearms it. He's got Lewis. Marcus Quinn, number 40, in on the tackle. And Mark Lewis, 33 receptions, 463 yards, will add to that total with a 23-yard pickup from Vince Evans.
One of the things that Vince Evans has done as the season has progressed is find the secondary receiver. Now, the package is going to the far side of the field on the pass, but he pulls up and finds 88 Lewis across the middle. In the game last week against Arizona, 2 key catches across the middle for first downs by Lewis.
5 of 6, 53 yards now for Vince Evans. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line of Tampa. Harris in motion. Bill Johnson. And Johnson is knocked out on the far side. Warren Hanna, number 20, 3rd-year player from Florida State University, who only weighs 175 pounds, decided, well, I'll take on that 220 pounds because I can't let him turn the corner, and he did just that.
Give you another idea why they made that crossing pattern so successful. The linebackers have got to stay in and think about Bill Johnson running the football. And if you do that, it stretches the distance between the linebackers and the defensive backs, and the crossing pattern's got lots of room in there to throw it. I expect Vince Evans to look for Mark Lewis across the middle a lot this evening.
2nd and 7. White in motion. Vincent White inside the 30. Put a pretty good move on Kirchbaum. And Nordgren, who is a very active player, got over that way. A penalty marker's down. It's going to be holding against the Denver Gold. And Mike, penalties have been a problem for Denver this year.
They are probably prone to the penalty on offense more than any other offensive club because they throw the football so much and they want to protect their quarterback. And if you're getting beat by a defensive lineman, instead of getting your quarterback killed, you grab a hold of it.
So the ball will be moved back to the 46-yard line. And it'll be second down for the Denver Gold. 14 yards to go as 89 Troy Johnson checks back in. And Mouse Davis looking for another wide receiver.
He started the year with Kelly Johnson at that wide out to the left. He dropped a couple. Then they put in Lonnie Turner. He played well for a while. Then he dropped some. So they're looking again now at Troy Johnson.
Evans coming near side. He's got Lewis at the 26-yard line, and that will be enough for a first down. Warren Hanna, number 20. Dwayne Anderson, 26, over on the coverage.
Who does he look for when he's in trouble, when he's got second and long, third and long? He looks for 88. Now, they ran the crossing pattern before. This time, it's the stop pattern instead of going across the middle, and he just left defensive backs flying the other way and gets the first down for 21 yards.
21 yards in the pickup. Lewis has been averaging over 14 yards to reception from Missouri Western. Pretty good football family. His brother Leo with the Minnesota Vikings, and his father played in the Canadian Football League. First and 10. White in motion. Ball at the 25-yard line. They flip it out to Bill Johnson, and 58. Alonzo Johnson for the Tampa Bay Bandits got a piece of it. Johnson, a very active backer, 46 tackles and 3 sacks so far on the year.
Tampa Bay's linebackers are the key to stopping the run and shoot. Last week, Monday Night Football against Arizona, they tried that little screen, the Denver Gold, and they couldn't get it going early, but Billy Johnson ate him up in the second half with it.
There's a good look at Vince Evans. What has he done on the year? Well, 125 and 253 for over 1,600 yards, 8 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. But the good news is 3 of the last 4 games he hasn't thrown an interception.
Yes.
Second and 10. 2:40 left to go, first quarter. And Mike Clark, 79, looked to be the man.
Offense, number 66.
But he was drawn off by Yarno, number 66.
And the Tampa Bay fans will know George Yarno. He played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers before moving on to the Gold.
And has a brother that played.
Yes, and with the Gold also.
Professionally. I asked Mouse Davis about their penalties, and sometimes when you ask Mouse about certain statistics, he says that's misleading.
Yeah,
but the fact is, they have been penalized much, much more than their opposition throughout this year. Second and 15. Bill Johnson on the draw. Johnson is dropped by James Harrell. Harrell, 6'2" and 220, 7-year professional, second year with Tampa Bay from the University of Florida. 46 tackles, 3 sacks, and a couple of interceptions, both of those last week.
Even though we haven't seen the 4 down linemen, 1 linebacker, 6 DBs for Tampa Bay, you know that Harrell has in the back of his mind number 34, Bill Johnson, and he's probably been practicing against a guy who's wearing 34 on his jersey all week.
This is the 10th play of this drive for the Denver Gold. 3rd and 11. Going to Lewis. Incomplete. Broken up by 26, Dwayne Anderson. First-year man from SMU.
A look at Evans throwing, and really the guy who makes the difference here is Bruce Vaughn, number 30. He had the short coverage, forced Vince Evans to try to drop it in between the two secondary people, and that's a very difficult throw and an even tougher catch for Mark Lewis.
Field goal attempt now by Spielman. Ball is at the 26-yard line. Galliano will place it down at the 33, make it a 43-yard attempt. and he is 1 of 1 between the 40 and the 49. Hit it good, but it was wide to the near side. And Tampa Bay will take over offensively with 1:49 left to go. First quarter. We're at Tampa Stadium, and the Gold leads the Bandits 3-0. Mike, he has to get his team running the football.
He's got to run the ball. They're going to play that 11 up all night and blitz Reeves so that he doesn't know what he's going to do.
First and 10 from the 25. Boone. And you can hear the crowd, Boone, Boone, as the third-year pro from Duke gets up to the 30-yard line. Calvin Turner and 59 John Nevins in on the tackle.
One of the things to keep the linebackers from getting into the pass defense is to run right at him. And there he is, Nevins, right on Boone. Maybe the next time when he's thinking pass first, they'll catch him. If he plays the run, then they can stretch it. Nevins is a tough one.
He's out of the ball game right now. 2nd and 5 at the 30-yard line. I formation. Reeves going down the middle. Brodsky is there at the 45-yard line. Larry Brodsky is brought down by Nate Miller. And yeah, he is not a fast wide receiver, but you can relate to that, Mike Hafner.
Oh yes. What they tell you to do, if you haven't got any speed, Roger, is always catch the football. This is a tough catch for Brodsky. It's behind him. He bobbles it a little bit. And you notice a little veteran move. Got a little push away from Nate Miller and got over the middle.
I'll tell you, he's been eating Nate Miller up so far tonight. 1st and 10 for Tampa Bay at the 45-yard line. Quickly to Brodsky in midfield. And Nate Miller again has to make the tackle. Penalty marker is down, and Miller is frustrated.
They're going right after him, Roger. They're going right after Nate Miller. Cornerbacks don't like to see that. They've run him inside. They've run him outside. Last time was a crossing pattern. Now he takes the quick out, and he's got him beat. They're not putting any pressure on Reeves so he can get it away. And there's the frustration. Grabs the face mask, throws him out of bounds.
Does a veteran quarterback like Reeves know that?
Oh, absolutely.
And knows when he's got a cornerback that's over there getting burned, and
he gets up under center, looks right into his eyes. He can see the frustration. He says, let's go after him until he stops it.
Penalty has stepped off against the Denver Gold. Fiesel, the left tackle for the Denver Gold, is out for the remainder of this game. Greg Fiesel with a knee injury.
1st and 10, Tampa Bay on the Denver 45.
Tampa now getting something together offensively. You know, last week in their win over Jacksonville, 3 of their 4 scores came off turnovers for 17 points. So they really take advantage of the other team's mistakes. They did last week against Jacksonville. Tampa has won 16 of their last 19 regular season games. We have completed the first quarter of play, and the Gold from Denver leads the Tampa Bay Bandits 3-0. Roger Twyville, Mike Hafner back with you at Tampa Stadium. The Bandits, 9th in the USFL in rushing, 2nd in passing, 1st in total offense, have got something going. Reeves looking for Gary Anderson at the 35-yard line. 13, David Martin, the cornerback on the left side on the coverage. Did that surprise you, Martin, on Anderson there?
No, it didn't, because we talked before the game about moving Anderson around. To be in the slot, to be out at wide receiver. When he gets out wide, then they'll put their best corner on him because he's just as good as a wide receiver with his speed and move.
Reeves so far on the night, 5 of 7 for 48 yards. 2nd down and 1. Remember the penalty against Denver just before the end of the quarter. Gold leads it 3-0. Reeves has got Spencer Jackson, but the official rules it's incomplete. Martin 13. And Steve Trimble were the men back there. John Reeves just showed you there what maybe sets him apart from other quarterbacks in the United States Football League. Go ahead, Mike.
Nice touch. Take a look. And Reeves is a 13-year veteran. He knows he can feel the rush. He knows when to get rid of it. He had to throw it quickly, but it was either a sack or an incompletion, and you'll take the incompletion every time.
So now it's 3rd and 1. Brodsky and Jackson are split to the near side. Boone and Anderson, the running backs. And Reeves wants a timeout, but is it in time? He was fighting the 30-second clock. There's a
veteran quarterback again. Takes some time to get going, time to find, and he's lost both of his starting wide receivers. Had to find new receivers, get the timing down.
Eric Trevelyan, Willie Gillespie are both out with injuries. Gillespie is suited up tonight. 3rd and 6. And that time, Thornton jumped the gun. And now the offensive and defensive linemen are pointing fingers at each other.
He moved first.
Coachman, defense, number 60. Still down.
That's going to be against Thornton. And folks, if you remember a couple weeks ago at the San Antonio-Denver game in Denver, Thornton was called 4 or 5 times.
3 at least. I remember.
I knew it was something up in double figures.
You know what a defensive end will do? He's trying to guess the snap count.
Joe Herring, the defensive coordinator, and what a job the defense of the Denver Gold has done in recent weeks. Just 26 points in the last 12 quarters. And 5 team records, fewest net yards, fewest plays, just 43. 26 yards passing by Arizona, and they only got 8 first downs last week. Some incredible statistics.
And only 1 in the second half.
3rd and 1. Anderson has the first down. Anderson took it around the left side, got inside the 45 to the 43. Doug Mikolas, 70, makes the tackle.
With all the great athletic ability of Gary Anderson, watch him glide. He knows he only needs 1 yard for the first down, and he's not going to use all of his great speed. He's going to glide until he sees the hole. Then he finds that 1 yard to make sure he gets the first down. If he breaks it, then it's cake.
We're keeping an eye on 73 Dan Fike and 99 Calvin Turner. That time, Fike with a good block to get Anderson that first down yardage. Reeves goes down to Brodsky. Brodsky run out at the 27-yard line, and once again, Nate Miller, 23. You know, in college, they used to call that a marshmallow roast when that happened a lot.
I'll tell you, before the game, we talked to the coaches, and they said, hey, Nate Miller might be a better cover man than the other side, and Brodsky has got his number tonight. 82 Brodsky is turning Nate Miller every way but the right way, and he's already caught 5. And here's the pass rush, and we've been talking about Fike doing the job on Calvin Turner, the #1 sack man for the Gold, and he shut him out tonight.
1st and 10 from the 25. Reeves almost intercepted, almost caught. Willie Gillespie, who has not played since the first game of the year, almost made a great reception.
Should have been an interception, Roger. Steve Trimble is the one who knocks it away. No, it's not Trimble. It's Hemphill who knocks it away from his cornerback. And look at that. Gillespie almost caught it on the end of his fingertips. What a great athletic move to change your body in midair.
2nd and 10. 14 minutes, 4 seconds to go. First half. 2 high-scoring football teams haven't scored much. And Reeves throws it behind his intended receiver, Willie Gillespie.
Safety blitz by Steve Trimble that time, and if Reeves would have had 1 more second, it'd have been 6. He had 2 receivers open, but Trimble was on him too quickly. He had to throw it before he wanted to.
Let's right now give the Tampa Bay offensive line some credit, because they protect the veteran QB the best way possible. I mean, he's only dumped once every 35 times.
Now, how would you like to be a young offensive lineman looking at that 13-year veteran when you got sacked?
Reeves is looking at 3rd and 10, and another bad pass, and it seemed to be some confusion on the part of Brodsky and Reeves that time. Brodsky, 5 catches and 60 yards, will come out of the game, and it'll be a field goal situation coming up for Tampa Bay and the Z-Man.
Misconnection between Reeves and Brodsky. Reeves thought he was going to turn inside. That's where he threw the ball. Brodsky hooked outside. Almost got an interception. Might be the only way that Nate Miller can cover Brodsky tonight.
Tampa Bay, Jimmy Jordan signaling to the side. They need somebody in there. And number 61, Nathaniel Newton, who weighs 315 pounds, has to run in a hurry. Little special teams mix-up. Only 6 seconds left to go. And finally, Jordan is going to signal for a timeout. So special teams problems, and a timeout is called by the Tampa Bay Bandits. Resting at the 25-yard line, and that is the Z-Man, Zenon Andrusian, the veteran out of UCL. Used to be a sidewinder.
Yes,
Mike?
He used to be a sidewinder. He's changed to straight arm. There aren't many left.
Jordan will set it down at the 42-yard attempt. He is 2 of 2 from that distance this year. And make it 3 of 3 from the 40 to 49-yard area. And we have a tied football game. Denver 3 and Tampa Bay 3. Two high-scoring football teams, but it's a defensive battle. And we'll return. Roger Twyville, Mike Hafner back with you at Tampa Stadium as the Tampa Bay Bandits used 11 plays, went some 50 yards as Andrusian kicked the field goal, and Tampa averaging over 28 points a game this year, Denver 23, and it's a barn burner, a defensive battle. As Lonnie Turner's a deep man back for the Denver goal. He'll take it at the 3-yard line. Turner gets up to the 29-yard line. Dwayne Anderson, 26, had him around the ankles. And also moving in for the Tampa Bay Bandits, 75, Walter Carter. So Vince Evans and the Denver goal will put it in play. 1st and 10 from the 29.
We said both defenses are very, very tough, but both offenses will keep coming at you and keep coming at you, and they can put points on the board as fast as any two offenses in the USFL. So this one may not be a defensive battle too much longer.
We mentioned it once before, but 3 times in the last 4 weeks, Vince Evans has gone through a football game without an interception. And this is a man who in his professional football career has thrown a lot more interceptions than he has touchdown passes.
About 4 to 1, Roger.
Bill Johnson. Johnson to the 32-yard line, and 51, Kelly Kirchbaum, who along with James Harrell, Alonzo Johnson, formed 3 pretty good linebackers, and you throw in Al Richardson. They're all very active. None of them over 6 feet 2 inches tall. There's a look at Kirchbaum from University of Kentucky.
There'll be no strength change on it.
Louis.
Look at Barry Wilson, the defensive coordinator so far. His guys are doing a good job too.
Pass thrown out. Lewis, more than enough for a 1st down. Across the 50 to the 48-yard line. A penalty marker is down. And the officials are going to confer for a moment or two, but I think Denver has conceded that it's against them. And usually where that flag is thrown, it would indicate holding.
May have penalties on both sides.
Personal foul. Offense number 66. Personal foul. Defense. First, y'all set. Down.
George Yarno, 66 for Denver. Who did he hook up with?
Well, I think it was later on down the field on an out-of-bounds tackle, Roger, one of the defensive backs, and an offset, and we'll play the whole down over again.
Do it one more time. They still have 1st down on the scoreboard as you take a look at the Tampa Bay statistics. 2nd down and 8. Ball at the 31-yard line. Just over 12 minutes to go, 1st half. Stiegel comes in motion to the near side. Evans has got his man, Stiegel, but he is wrapped up. 26, Dwayne Anderson put a big league hit on him, and Marcus Quinn, number 40, also back there as the rookie from Harding, Gil Stiegel, and welcome to the USFL.
This is what you fear. They got 4 deep backs. The linebacker drops are deep. And the linebacker is the one that forces, again, Vince, to drop it over the top. And then, hello, welcome to the USFL.
Should have been caught, though.
Now, here's Tom Davis on Nordgren. And you talked about him being double-teamed in that 3-man situation, and he got double-teamed.
3rd down and 8. Coaching staff, the Tampa Bay Bandits. Evans has got a scoot. He can do it. He's got some room. Evans up to the 49-yard line. Mike Butler, 77, almost had him, but Vince Evans, who has carried the ball 29 times, averaging almost 6 yards a carry and 5 touchdowns on the ground, shows you why he's dangerous in this situation.
They say he's a great athlete. He's about to prove it to you. One of the things Miles Davis, his head coach, said, he has that extra dimension that I didn't have with Jim Kelly last year at Houston. Yes, Kelly could run the football, but Vince Evans is the type of athlete that can get you out of any kind of trouble, and he showed it right there with the first down run.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line. Lonnie Turner, 82, split to the near side. Evans has got a man wide open. Stiegel was wide open. Anderson, the nearest man to him. And Vince Evans completed 49% of his passes so far this year. He has thrown 8 touchdowns. He has thrown 12 interceptions. But look at what happens when the Gold is winning football games, and when they're losing. Does Vince Evans carry this team, or does he carry the team?
Any run and shoot quarterback carries the offense, and if he has a bad day, the whole club has a bad day. But when he's on, like he was last week against Arizona, you get the 28-7 win.
The veteran from Southern Cal put it in play, 2nd and 10 from the 47-yard line. Pass intended for Lonnie Turner, 82, and it was Al Richardson from LSU, number 59. And Lonnie Turner, linebacker on him. Isn't that the situation you want, Mike?
Absolutely. The problem is they've shut down Bill Johnson, the running back. Now you're getting the great deep drops by the linebackers, and they're getting in the way of those crossing patterns to the little wide receivers. They've got to get that running game going, or else they're not going to stretch the defense.
Evans has had all day to throw the football. Miller, 76, Neese, 74, Davis, 52, Yarno, 66, and Ray Wagner, 78.
You can have all day, but if you got 9 guys back there defending the pass, it's tough to find somebody open.
3rd and 10. Stiegel in motion to the near side. Evans has got Bill Johnson in front of him. He's got a man. Mark Lewis incomplete, but Evans had 2 men. Vincent White, one of them in the end zone, wide open. He had Bill Johnson in front of him. He decided to go cross field. That's dangerous.
Yes, it is. That's when you get it picked off. Another thing, too, when you're on a scramble like that, you have got to be a great athlete to throw it 50 yards on the run. Evans couldn't decide whether he wanted to set his feet and throw it or throw it on the run long, and he made the wrong choice. Almost got a pick.
First punt tonight for Brian Spielman. Bruce Vaughn, number 30, is back at his own 10-yard line for Tampa Bay. Spielman. Nate Miller with the pass reception. Darrell Hemphill, 25, on the short snap. Was it Lovall or Miller?
I'll take a look when we look at the replay. Yes, it was Calvin Lovall. There's the little pass from Hemphill, and it's Calvin Lovall. 31 yards, short snap to the up back, and it caught everyone in the stadium and the announcers and everybody else by surprise.
You're not kidding me, I'll tell you.
Oh, goodness.
1st and 10 for you love the play.
Oh,
you gotta love the call.
Absolutely.
1st and 10. Ball's at the 21, and Evans wants a timeout.
He wants to go over the sidelines and congratulate Hemphill. That was a great throw.
He says, how do you throw those short passes like that?
And get 30
Thursday on ESPN. 1st and 10 for the Denver Gold. Vincent White in motion to the near side. Evans is dumped, and guess who it is? Fred Nordgren, sack number 8 on the year. Was tied with Calvin Turner, is no more. And these 2 teams sack a lot. 23, make it 24 now.
24 now for Tampa Bay, and we've watched Nordgren get double teamed all night, but the man never gives up. He got double teamed again, broke the double team. Evans was going to set up and throw back across the field, but with Nordgren in his face, that's tough to do. Excellent extra effort by Nordgren.
Loss of 9 on the play. This is the 10th play of a drive that started at the Denver 29-yard line. 2nd and 19. 78, James Ramey from the University of Kentucky, the 2nd consecutive sack, and nobody touched him from the outside.
Ramey, who's really a backup on the pass rush, doesn't start for him, but it's on that right side against Matt Miller. Miller didn't even touch him. As soon as Vince Evans turned around, 78 was standing on his toes.
You mentioned Miller. On the last play, he was trying to block Nordgren. It's confusing up front.
When they start running those switch plays where the tackle takes the inside rush, defensive end comes outside.
3rd and 25. The goal nearly out of field goal range. Bill Johnson drops the football. Bill Johnson, who was wide open, drops the football. Good decoy that time because they brought White in motion to that side, sent him downfield, and Johnson had plenty of room.
They had the screen pass set up well. One problem, Bill Johnson dropped the football.
Well, they're trying to get Johnson involved in the offense. He just hasn't been doing anything so far tonight. And Spielman will come in. Galliano's in there, so it'll be a field goal attempt. They'll set it at the 46-yard line, make it 56 yards, and Spielman is 0 of 2, 50 plus.
That's a pretty long poke.
Against the wind. 54 yards make it. Way short. And the Tampa Bay defense has held. Denver 3 and Tampa Bay 3. 9:23 left to go in the half. We'll be back right after this. For Tampa Bay, they've outscored their opponents 73-29, and their last game against Jacksonville outscored Jacksonville 14-0 in the second quarter after getting off to a shaky start.
I was a little surprised too that Mouse Davis, the head coach of the Gold, allowed a 54-yard field goal there, because if it's missed, they get it at the 37. That's pretty good field position for John Reeves and his offense.
1st and 10 for Reeves and the Tampa Bay Bandits. Going deep to Gary Anderson, and it's underthrown. That is the 4th time tonight that we have seen Reeves underthrow his receivers. On the coverage, Steve Trimble, 47.
Chris Thornton, number 60, got just close enough to make Reeves short arm it a little bit, and he threw it short. Couldn't get it to Gary Anderson downfield.
As Bill Johnson has not been productive so far tonight, Gary Anderson has not been productive for Tampa Bay.
Both defenses looking at those two key running backs, trying to keep them under wraps.
2nd and 10 from the 37. That's Anderson right up the middle. He's across the 40 to the 42-yard line. Craig Walls, 55, a reserve right side linebacker from Indiana, and a good backup linebacker, makes the tackle. You know, Anderson's a very slightly built football player, but he's very strong. You know, when I say that, he's wiry.
Yes, and he runs inside as well as he runs outside, and that's rare for a guy who is built as slight as he is. Although I bet there isn't an ounce of body fat on him.
No, that's a good bet. 2nd and 5. Again, it's Anderson. Anderson across midfield down to the 48-yard line. Trimble, 47, gets him. But I'll tell you what, Jeff Delaney, number 40, had a great shot at him, and the move by Anderson, and this is why he is one of the premier backs in this league.
Great backs make people miss. Bang. There goes Delaney, 40 right by him, and 2 more players miss him. What happens with a great back is you only get a piece of him, and you've got to gang tackle against Gary Anderson, or he'll just juke you right out of your shoes. And he made a great move there against Delaney.
Anderson, 10 rushing touchdowns. He's caught 3 through the air. 1st and 10. Reeves going to Brodsky. 1st down. And guess who? Nate Miller on the coverage. And Brodsky's having another big night.
I was down on the field watching him warm up, and I was watching Brodsky. He never caught the ball in his chest, always in his hands. Look at this one, right on the fingertip. A perfect throw by Reeves.
You know who his quarterback was in college, don't you?
Gee, who?
University of Miami.
Bernie, who?
Jim Kelly.
Jim Kelly, yeah. Well, I knew I'd get it right. They've had 3 great quarterbacks there.
Had 5 receptions, 101 yards last week. He's already got 6 catches this week. 1st and 10, ball at the 37-yard line, 6:50 left to go, first half. Thornton has got Reeves and throws him down. Bruce Thornton, 6'6", 270, his 5th sack of the year. And there was no doubt about that one.
Here's the 11-up defense. Now they have 1 safety valve back, but you see all the players up front, and there just aren't enough people to block everyone, and nobody touched Thornton, and he was right in Reeves' face before he could even throw it. But that's that 11-up defense. As the coordinator for the Gold, Joe Herring, said we're going to use a bunch. In the 60 plays that Arizona had last week, 30 times they run the 11-up.
2nd and 19. Ball's at the 45-yard line at Denver. Reeves has got Brodsky at the 28-yard line. Nate Miller and Darrell Hemphill, they decided to get another man on him. And I think that Reeves has found a receiver.
When you're in the 11-up, you're not going to have any underneath coverage, and you've got a control receiver like Brodsky. You're going to try to get him open all day, especially in the soft spots in the middle. And that's 7 receptions for 89 yards, and we're not even to halftime yet.
18 yards on the pickup. It'll be 3rd down and 1. The ball resting at the 28-yard line. 5:45 left to go in the half. Anderson. The 1st down and more to the 21-yard line. Hemphill. Also Stan Blinka, 50.
Here's an example of that inside running. Anderson sees the crack. Look at the extra burst as he gets through. He makes 2 guys miss. Hemphill, the strong safety, has got to come up and make the tackle. And again, that extra burst of speed when he sees the opening.
1st and 10 now, ball at the 21. And folks, when you saw that sack of John Reeves by Thornton, keep in mind his offensive line with the best sack ratio in the league. Just 8, make it 9 sacks now, and over 280 passing attempts. That ball was deflected. Looked like Pat Ogren, 79, might have been the man that got the hand up there. Ogren goes 6'5", 265 from the University of Wyoming.
Guess who he was going for, though, Reeves? Looking for Brodsky again, and he was wide open. They teach those defensive linemen to get their hands up. Hard to throw it through a picket fence.
Gary Anderson still looking for a big play. Last week, 3 touchdowns against Jacksonville. 3rd time in 85 he's had a game with 3 touchdowns. Can he get it to the outside? Penalty markers down. Anderson works his way down to the 5-yard line. David Martin, number 13, makes the tackle, and a penalty marker down at the 20-yard line.
Still 2nd down.
Holding against Tampa Bay, and the 16-yard run of Gary Anderson will be history. The referee is Ted Humphrey, and his mic is not working as well as it should be. Marv Durenberger, Hayden Terrig, Stephen Morehouse, Bill Richardson, Don Guessaway, and Mike Looney, the officials on the field. And right next to us is Bob Bauer, who is judging any replays, if there will be any, before the night's out.
Bruce Thornton was the one held that time. That's why the drop play worked.
2nd and 20. Reeves with some rollout action. Looking for his tight end, Marvin Harvey. And Harvey's been doing a disappearing act the last couple of weeks. Didn't make a catch against Jacksonville. Caught just 1 pass tonight.
One of the things on a tight end, if you have speed wide receivers, he turns into your control man and will catch a lot of passes. If you've got the control receivers outside, tight end finds it hard to find the spaces in between the linebackers.
Look at Marvin Harvey, 6'3", 230 from Southern Mississippi. Spent some time with the Kansas City Chiefs. 3rd down and 20. Ball's at the 31-yard line. 4:23 left to go, first half. Reeves going for Harvey. Got him. Down to the 1-yard line. So Reeves saw something that he liked the last couple of times that Marvin Harvey's gone out. Went to him on the last play, didn't work. Went to him again, 30 yards on the reception.
John Reeves been trying to throw short to Harvey all night. Figured he'd send him upfield this time, and he's got Delaney turned around with his back. Reeves makes a perfect throw right over the top of his head, and they put it on the 1-yard line, Roger. 30-yard gain.
Calvin Turner put a big-time hit on John Reeves just as he let go of the football. But the Tampa Bay Bandits, first and goal from the 1-yard line, 3:37 left to go. And remember, the second quarter has been their quarter.
And
this year.
Reeves will take that tough hit for a 30-yard gain.
Watch Anderson if he gets it and how he can dive over the line of scrimmage. He didn't get to dive and he didn't get the touchdown. Good job by the Denver Gold. 58. Was it Kilkenny?
I think it was Nevins. Nevins and Turner.
Second and goal now. Boone will shift to the far. Anderson is the deep man. He has the football and he has the touchdown. Good block by Greg Boone, who just before the snap shifted over to the far side. And that was a good drive by Tampa Bay.
Roger, you mentioned it. Watch 21. Kicks it outside. Anderson cuts inside. And that's what Boone's there for. Yes, he can carry the ball when he gets his shot, but he's there to block for Anderson. He cleared the way, and it was an easy score.
So far in the year, 26 of 26 extra points and 50 straight going back to May of '84 for Zenon Andrusic. Jimmy Jordan, the hold. And make it 51 in a row and 27 out of 27 this year. And the Tampa Bay Bandits have taken a 10-3 lead over the Denver Gold with 2:42. And Gary Anderson.
Running backs like to run at the goal line when you get blocking like this. Again, you saw Boone 21 slip inside. Nobody touches it. Anderson, he just walks in.
11th rushing touchdown of the year. He's got 3 through the air, so 14 TDs for the University of Arkansas All-America.
We were trying to compare him with
10-3 with 2:42 to go. Good crowd on hand, better than 50,000 at Tampa Stadium. Lonnie Turner, 82, is back deep. And Denver with plenty of time to put something together. That's Brad Callip, fumble, loose ball, still on the ground. And they're going to bring it back to the 34-yard line.
Roger, here's the perfect time. Was it a fumble or wasn't it? Let's throw the red flag, find out on the replay. All right.
Callip stepped in front of Turner.
Take a good close look at whether his knee is down before the ball comes out. Down. And if they throw the red flag and take a look at it here, Roger, it's going to go in favor of the referee's call because he was down before the ball came out. Good call.
Take another look at it, and Steve Spurrier is speaking to the officials right now.
Caleb breaks back up inside.
The red flag has gone down.
As you're looking at the running play again, now you're seeing it front on. Knees touch. Now ball's out. The ground cannot cause a fumble. That's the way the rule reads, and that's what I see right there on the replay. Let's see what the observer.
And when Steve sees the game films, he'll probably agree with you.
Well, when he lost it the last time I was watching him, he dropped right down to the ground and started pounding the grass.
First and 10 for Denver. They trail 10-3. 2:14 left to go. First half. Evans coming near side, and he has got Gil Stiegel. Stiegel makes just his third catch of the year. Alonzo Johnson, 58, Warren Hanna, 20. And tonight we're seeing two receivers, Troy Johnson and Gil Stiegel, who have really not played that much for the Denver Gold this year. As we've reached the 2-minute warning, the Tampa Bay Bandits lead the Denver Gold 10-3. Gold trails Tampa Bay 10-3. 2 minutes left to go first half. 1st and 10. Ball right at the 50-yard line. Vincent White in motion to the far side. They go to White. He stumbles and he doesn't get out of bounds. At the 45-yard line, Dwayne Anderson makes a tackle. 2 timeouts left for the Gold. And remember, the final 2 minutes of the half in the game, the clock stops on a first down.
You've been talking about the wide receiver to the left side on the run and shoot package that they run. And they've tried 4 wide receivers over there, Roger. The guys have been dropping the ball all week. You can't continue to run it to Mark Lewis's side all the time. You've got to change it up, and you need the receiver over there.
White's in motion again, 2nd and 5. Evans, intended receiver was Mark Lewis, and 26, Dwayne Anderson. Almost got a piece of it. He's not, Vince Evans, I'm looking at his drop tonight. How many yards does he usually take? Because it appears to me he's only getting about a 3-4 yard drop.
They have changed his drop a little shorter, so he gets more time to look downfield. And again, they're having trouble with that left wide out. And they want him to get rid of the ball much more quickly. If he sits back there and waits, he has a tendency to get sacked. Or he pulls the ball down and runs instead of throwing the ball and waiting for the receiver to come open.
3rd down and 5. White in motion once again. Vincent White at the 33-yard line. Bruce Vaughn, number 30, knocks him out of bounds. Clock stops. First down for the Denver Gold.
You talked about Vince Evans' setup. Take a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4.5 steps. Now he sets, throws back to the opposite side of the field. This is their 2-minute package. They want somebody at the sideline so they can get out of bounds, don't have to waste the timeout. And Vincent White does the right thing after catching it from Vince.
And Vincent's become the favorite receiver all of a sudden.
There you go.
Stiegel in motion to the near side. 1st and 10 from the 32. Bill Johnson on the draw. He's inside the 30, down to the 28-yard line. Nordgren 68 and Mike Clark 79. And Denver has called a timeout with 1 minute and 4 seconds left to go on the half, and they will have 1 timeout left. Bill Johnson, 2nd and 7. Ball at the 29-yard line. Stiegel in motion again. Evans with the jump pass, intercepted by Bruce Vaughn. Bruce Vaughn's 2nd interception of the year. And that time, Vince Evans with almost a jump pass as he had a lot of pressure on him. And no chance for the intended receiver, Mark Lewis, to get it.
Vince Evans' biggest problem is when he can't find an open receiver. Instead of pulling it down, looking for the short man, he just throws it up for grabs. And that's not the kind of throw in a 2-minute drill. Throw it out of bounds. And when you throw it up for grabs, there's always someone there to grab it.
56, Keith Clark was a man that was putting a lot of pressure on. So Vaughn, who was beaten out of his starting job, had been starting for a couple of weeks. Hanna moved into that cornerback position. Vaughn in as a nickelback, comes up with the interception. And a big play for the Tampa Bay Bandits with less than a minute to go. First half, they lead at 10-3. They have 1 timeout left. Reeves to Anderson. Anderson across the 35 to the 38-yard line. And it was Craig Walls, number 55, in his 2nd year from Indiana. The clock will stop as they move the chains. Jerry Price, 86, got a good block that time for Gary Anderson, who's just as dangerous catching the football because he is such a great runner as he is when you just hand it to him.
Double tight end, Roger.
Reeves has got his man. Spencer Jackson. Touchdown. yards, the touchdown pass from John Reeves to Spencer Jackson. And the Denver coaches, Mike, were telling us before the game about the fade.
And that was the perfect fade route, the 2-minute drill. Spencer Jackson with great speed. David Martin didn't play it well, and he slipped. And with Jackson's speed, he's in the end zone.
Second touchdown reception of the year for Jackson. 13th touchdown pass for John Reeves. The Z-Man is now 28 of 28 on the year and 52 in a row. And there is a fight going on the field right now as we look at the touchdown pass one more time.
The fade route is the straight, and he'll throw it over the outside shoulder. There's Jackson. Now watch the move by number 13, David Martin. He slips and trips over his own man, and with Jackson's speed, there's no way to stop him.
Hemphill had him.
Yes,
Hemphill had him wrapped up.
There's
Look at it
the
again.
move. Hemphill's got him, and he pulls him right away from David Martin, slips the tackle, and again, Jackson, a great speedster. They're not going to catch him.
Well, we mentioned that the second quarter has been Tampa's quarter so far.
On Reeves. Reeves had all time, all day to throw.
Once again, the turnover by Denver, and last week Tampa Bay scored 17 points on 3 turnovers by Jacksonville. Lonnie Turner looking for some ground. Penalty markers down. Fumble. Tampa got it. Dwayne Anderson knocked it loose. Bobby Futrell, 34, was down at the bottom of the pile. There's a penalty marker on the field.
Number 54 receiving. Decline. First down.
Another turnover for the Denver goal.
Lonnie Turner trying to make something happen with only 19 seconds to go. And every time you do this, Roger, you tend not to take care of the football. And watch him get stripped.
Anderson.
26. Anderson strips the ball away. And I believe it's Walker 75 that got it, or 34
Futrell or
whoever.
Walker.
It belongs to Tampa Bay. The red guy's got it.
One more look at it. Anderson from behind.
Anderson with the strip. Look at that thing spin out of there. Carter's the first one there, but I believe Futrell's the one that got him from back and really recovered it.
And a red flag, so Mouse Davis says, what the heck? I'm going to take ball resting at the 31-yard line. Jackson will split to the near side. Larry Brodsky at the top of your screen.
Don't want to make a mistake here. You're still in Z's field goal range.
Reeves is checking off at the line of scrimmage. Going deep. Penalty marker, interference. The intended receiver was Gary Anderson. It appeared Terry Irvin, the linebacker, was on the coverage. And when Reeves sees Anderson isolated on a linebacker, his eyes get real big.
That's why he threw the football.
Anderson limping off the field.
Here's Reeves. He'll read it. He sees Anderson one-on-one with Irvin.
Defense, number 23. First down.
He's got to make the tackle to save the touchdown.
Well, I'm not going to throw a red flag, but the interference was not on 23. It was not on Nate Miller. It was on Irvin, the linebacker, right there.
Yes, it was. Didn't make any difference who it was on.
One
but it
for
was...
the announcers and 0 for the officials.
They haven't got any more red flags. You only get 1 a quarter.
Well, we got ours. We got ours.
We got ours? All right.
Anderson bending over on the sideline. And they're looking at his right knee. So they'll step off the yardage. And keep in mind that United States Football League, they're penalized from the line of scrimmage. So it'll be 1st and 10, the ball at the 15-yard line with 13 seconds left to go in the half.
Smart throw by Reeves. Wasn't a great throw, but he knew that he had the linebacker on Anderson, and the only way that they could stop it was for him to interfere.
Ricky Williams, 44, is checked into the backfield along with Boone to replace Anderson. Reeves going to Brodsky. That time, a fine defensive play by Nate Miller. And let's give him his due when it's due. And once again, Reeves and Brodsky appear to have a communications problem.
Reeves wanted another pass interference flag thrown there.
Mike,
again, the fade route.
You've run patterns like that before. As a defender, you want to try to force your man to the corner?
Yes, you want to keep him outside and make the throw difficult. You know who the best defensive back on the field is? The sideline. If you got him out of bounds, it doesn't count. Look at Reeves. He wants another play.
Wants another play, or maybe he wanted interference call.
Yes, he did. He wanted a flag for another interference.
Nate Miller from Cameron State in Oklahoma. 9 seconds left to go. One more play, and then they'll let the Z-man go for it. Spencer Jackson at the 6-yard line. 2 seconds. And they get the timeout with 2 seconds left in the first half.
And the 50,000 plus took a deep breath, thought Reeves wasn't going to call the timeout in time.
The Canadian, who spent a lot of time in the CFL, had a year with the Kansas City Chiefs, decided to stop kicking it from the side and go straight on.
I asked him before the game, I said, Z, why did you change? He said the difference was the height of the football. If I go straight on, I get it up more quickly, don't get him blocked. And he said, I was hitting line drives when I was doing it sidewinder.
I tell you, he's got to be some kind of athlete. I mean, that's not the easiest thing in the world to do if you've been kicking like that. And he was a good athlete. He was a javelin tosser at UCLA.
And the Canadian national champion in the javelin.
Great name, Zenon. Got a son named Zoe.
Everything starts with Z, with Z.
24-yard attempts. And it's good. He is 4 out of 4 from 20 to 29 yards on the year. And that ends the first half of play from Tampa Stadium, with the Tampa Bay Bandits scoring 20 points in the second quarter, and they lead the Denver Gold 20-3. Coming up next, 210 yards passing. Really negligent on both teams as far as rushing yardage. Turnovers, though, Denver 2, and that is the key here at halftime.
10 points off those 2 turnovers. Scores 20-3. That's made the difference. Denver possessions. 11. Field goal, missed field goal, missed field goal, interception. And the interceptions have really hurt Vince Evans.
Remember the punt return?
Yes.
That got him down in that position.
They got him the 3 points.
Field goal. Tampa Bay, on the other hand, they got warmed up in the second quarter.
Started off slow, and as you pointed out, their big quarter is the second quarter, Roger, and that's when it happened. The field goal to tie it up in the first, and then the 2 touchdowns, one on the turnover and one on a fumble recovery.
That is Eats back deep. Short kick. Turner at the 15. Across the 30, across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Penalty marker is down as Dwayne Anderson, who has been in on a number of plays, not only in a secondary position, but special teams.
During the return, receiving team number 56. First down.
Well, that was an illegal block on Terry Irvin. So the good field position will be reduced on another penalty by the Denver Gold, and they had 6 for 45 yards in the first half. And we talked about it earlier, Mike, but on the season, almost 117 more yards and penalties than their opposition. Bob Galliano now.
Look who's the quarterback.
Is in the game. 6'3", 195 pounds from Utah State, second year in the United States Football League, 5th year of professional football. 1st and 10 from the 22-yard line. Vincent White goes in motion. White makes the reception, still on his feet, and he is knocked out of bounds at the 31-yard line by Dwayne Anderson.
I don't believe that Evans is hurt. The reason they made the change at halftime is Mouse Davis feels that his receivers are open, but Vince Evans wasn't finding them, and he's going to Galliano to try and make that offense go.
Bob Galliano, an interesting college career. Junior college, bounced around to several different schools before finishing up at Utah State. Has been in professional football for 5 years. Hasn't played that much this season. 2nd and 1. That was Harris in motion to the near side. Short pass. And Leonard Harris simply could not get a handle on it as Alonzo Johnson Pretty good stick. There's Vince Evans.
Oh, they're wrapping his hand. Maybe he's got a sprained finger, can't throw the football.
Looks like the ring finger on his right hand.
You remember a couple weeks ago that happened to Jim Kelly, the Houston quarterback, and yet he came back and had a pretty good second half. We'll see if Evans, with that sprained finger evidently on the ring.
We've been told it's a dislocated ring finger on his right hand, so Vince Evans will not return tonight. 3rd down and 1. Galliano, the pitch out to Bill Johnson. 1st down and more. That looked like a wishbone quarterback going down the line of scrimmage or running the veer. And we've also learned that Gary Anderson has suffered a sprain of his right foot, and it's highly unlikely that he'll be back.
Two pretty potent offensive people from both sides of the ball.
It changes the complexion of things a lot here.
Absolutely. Take away the running threat. Galliano is not a runner, but you saw that little option play. That is the 3rd running play that the running back has for the goal. Up the middle, off tackle, and the little pitch.
1st and 10 from the 37-yard line. Harris in motion. Galliano's got Harris at the 43-yard line. Alonzo Johnson, 58, 6'3" and 230 in his 3rd year from Florida A&M. You know, one of the things I think Tampa Bay as a franchise has going for it in the territorial draft, they're getting the Florida State, and the Florida A&M. Those schools produce some pretty good football players.
They also produce passing games on a regular basis, and you can feed your wide receivers and running backs and pass blocking offensive linemen real quick.
Galliano's been going for the short stuff, going to the outs.
Miles Davis says that he reads much better than Evans, but he doesn't quite have the athletic ability of Vince.
2nd and 4 from the 43. Pass was overthrown. Intended receiver Leonard Harris, who came into the game with 29 receptions for over 300 yards. We'll also occasionally use Harris on a running play now and then.
He's got 4.3 speed. You want to get him one-on-one with somebody so he can use that speed either to beat him deep or to run with the football and outrun everybody.
Great player at Texas Tech in his college days. Bob Galliano would have to be termed a journeyman quarterback. Spent some time in Kansas City in the NFL.
Went to San Antonio in the USFL, then traded for Putt Choate, their fine middle linebacker from Denver.
3rd and 4. Option again. Bill Johnson. 1st down and more. Bill Johnson inside the 40. One man to beat. Drags him down at the 28-yard line. Warren Hanna, the left cornerback, tackled him where you have to tackle. A 6'1", 225-pound running back, and that's right on the shoelaces.
Usually when you get a 225-pounder, he looks for people to run over. But Bill Johnson has got speed. He's also got some moves. There's the limp leg, breaks the tackle, and that wasn't a power move. That was a quickness move. Same way, stepped out of another tackle there. And that's rare for a 225-pounder.
32 yards on the pickup for Bill Johnson. 1st and 10. Vincent White inside the 10, down to the 6-yard line. Anderson had the coverage, and White slipped by him, and it was Alvin Bailey that finally made the tackle.
Perfect example of what Mouse Davis says about Galliano. He reads the run and shoot routes better than Vince Evans. He's thrown 4 passes. All 4 passes were to wide open receivers. Didn't hit them all, made a bad throw once, but all the receivers have been open. He knows the run and shoot, and he can find the open man.
Galliano comes into this game having thrown just 8 passes, completing 6 of them, 1 interception. 1st and goal from the 7-yard line. Harris in motion to the near side. Lewis, touchdown. So an impressive debut for Bob Galliano against the Tampa Bay Bandits as he drove his team right down the field, completing a 7-yard touchdown pass to wide receiver Mark Lewis, his 3rd touchdown reception of the year, and 1st touchdown pass by Bob Galliano.
Bob Galliano reading the option routes of his receivers. Watch how open his touchdown receiver is. And again, he reads the package so well, Mouse says. He just doesn't have quite the athletic ability of Vince Evans. Mark Lewis wide open. Vincent White was wide open. Leonard Harris was wide open when he threw to him. He picked the right guy.
Spielman, the point after is good. He's 19 of 21 on the year. And with 12:01 to go third quarter, the Tampa Bay Bandits lead is cut to 10. Finger comes into the game, immediately guides the goal. 8 plays, 78 yards, 2 minutes and 40 seconds, and the touchdown pass to Lewis. Ricky Williams across the 30 to the 32-yard line, where Calvin Lovall makes the tackle. And Tampa Bay will put it in play, 1st and 10 at the 32.
And Ricky Williams will take over for Gary Anderson in the backfield. He's a fine young man, but he's not Gary Anderson, and that's going to take something away from the Tampa Bay offense, and Reeves is going to have to make an adjustment.
Ricky Williams had carried the ball just 3 times before tonight's game. Williams is 5'10", 173 pounds, from Florida State University. Now Williams will come split to the near side. Boone. And he gets a couple. 79, Pat Ogren in on the tackle. Now, Mike Hafner, does the onus fall here on Ricky Williams, or do they look to Greg Boone first?
I would have Greg Boone carrying the football. He's had some 100-yard games in his career, but you know what it does? It gives the defense of the Gold a lot more options. They don't have to play run first. Williams isn't going to hurt him as bad as Gary Anderson could. And now maybe they can double cover Brodsky and take that away from him.
2nd and 7. Delaney is in the game. They give it to Williams, and he's got room. Williams up to midfield, across midfield to the 49-yard line. John Nevins, 59. Also there, Craig Walls, 55. And a gain of 16 yards for Ricky Williams.
Just when I say Williams isn't a big threat to hurt you, they go outside, double team on Brodsky, and Williams makes a 16-yard run. And again, it was because the Gold defense was playing pass and not the run.
Be interesting to see if Delaney does stay on Brodsky as we take a look at good blocking up front. Pitcock, 64, doing a job.
And Turner took himself right out of the play, took the inside move, and Williams saw it and went outside.
Reeves puts it up. Brodsky makes the catch at the 41-yard line, and that time John Reeves had a lot of pressure on him, and he did what a veteran should do, and Brodsky, a young receiver, acted like a veteran receiver on that play.
Throw it to the possession receiver when you're getting pressure. 9 times out of 10, it's not going to be a great throw, so you have to throw to the guy with the great hands, and you see how many catches he's had tonight.
Brodsky is moving towards his best day ever as a professional. He had his best ever against Jacksonville last week. 2nd down and 1. Boone is the near back. Williams to the far side of him. This is Ricky Williams. What a hole he's got there on the left side. And more than enough for the first down is Steve Trimble, who's made over 65 tackles on the year from his free safety position. Comes up and makes another.
When your safeties are making that many tackles, you're not playing the run very well.
Well, Hemphill has made over 51. Trimble has made over 65. I hope they've got a clause in their contract.
They don't.
They don't.
Just lots of bruises to prove them.
1st and 10. So the Denver Gold put together a good drive. And now Tampa Bay coming back with a drive of their own. Spencer Jackson was a man in motion, and Williams has got room. Williams inside the 30. Knocked out of bounds at the 24-yard line by Darrell Hemphill. And give the nod to Reggie Smith, 65, Nathaniel Newton, 61, and Lee North, 66, for some outstanding blocking on the right side.
When you lose your star running back,
and Boone too,
a lot of times the rest of the club will pick it up. They'll block better. They'll hold their blocks a little bit longer because they know the youngster who's only got 3 carries coming into the game. Look at this battle inside. Newton, one of the top offensive linemen for Tampa Bay, makes a great block there.
Super job.
Just a great block.
Newton comes at you at 3:15.
That's a load. Went to the well once too often, Roger.
Williams taken down at the 25. Reggie Singletary, number 77, in on the stop. Tell you a little bit about Nathaniel Newton, number 61, 6'2". They list him as 290 in the program, but coaches say he's about 315, but he runs a 4.9 40. They say he can dunk a basketball. They say that he is probably one of the best young offensive linemen in the United States Football League, but he is fined occasionally for being overweight, so he gives up about $130 a week.
$10 a pound, over 300, huh? We won't hold that against him when he makes blocks like that.
Fumble, loose ball. Nevins has it. John Nevins comes up with a fumble recovery as John Reeves lost it. And with 8:29 to go in the third quarter, Denver will take over on the Tampa Bay turnover.
Psychology on this play. Denver has come, made a touchdown, and now Reeves had him going the other way. And a big turnover here, Roger. This could turn the game.
Mike Taliaferro came busting through and got to Reeves before he was able to hand it off. Tampa, if anybody would want to challenge Bad Brad.
No.
On the turnover, Denver 1st and 10 from their own 38-yard line. Bob Galliano, the quarterback, and he has got Leonard Harris across the 40 to the 41-yard line, where Marcus Quinn, and we have not mentioned Marcus Quinn tonight simply because he hasn't been involved in too many of the tackles, but he is the young man that Tampa Bay picked up in the trade with the Oakland Invaders, and a fine free safety.
Oh, just the most valuable player on defense last year, leading interceptor in the league. Let's find out if Bob Galliano is really for real with this run and shoot. He has yet, Roger, to throw the football to a receiver that was covered. He's always found the open man.
And he hasn't been throwing down the middle. 2nd and 6. Out of trouble. Galliano with room to roam and a beautiful slide at the 50-yard line.
You know the new rule in the USFL, if he hook slides, he's automatically down, you can't touch him. And nobody touched him. They know the rule now. And I said Galliano wasn't a runner. Of course, he had so much open field.
Well, you know he's a slider.
Yes. He'd have been safe at second.
Denver on 1st down, 5 run and 8 pass. Just about the same. Tampa Bay 8-12, and Galliano 5 of 7, 43 yards and a touchdown. 7:20 left to go. Third quarter. 1st and 10. Harris in motion. Overthrown his intended receiver, Mark Lewis, number 88. Alvin Bailey was on the coverage. If you're going to make a bad pass, it's best to make it to the sidelines.
Nobody can pick it off when it's 4 rows up.
Well, you've got to admire what he has done so far, because he has played it close to the vest, but he has just moved a little bit at a time.
And he's been chomping at the bit. Vince Evans paid a lot of money. He's the guy that they wanted the run and shoot to go, but Galliano's felt all along that he can run this run and shoot offense. So far he's proved that he's had 1 drive and 1 score.
2nd and 10 from the 48. Harris in motion once again. Harris makes the catch at the 43-yard line. Warren Hanna was right there on him. Mike, they're playing so soft that Galliano was able to throw that across field, and Hanna just simply couldn't get there, and it wasn't that good a pass.
No, it wasn't, but again, Harris was wide open. Here's a look at Galliano. Watch him on the roll. Sets up. And I'll tell you, he can find the open receiver. He knows what Mouse Davis is trying to do with the receivers. He knows the reads. And the reason he can throw that crossing pattern was that Harris was wide open, and he can afford to throw it across there when nobody's defending.
3rd down and 2, and this has not been the Gold strong suit this year. Less than 28% completion of 3rd down situations, but give it to Big Bill Johnson and just let him run over people, and you've got yourself a 1st down at the 36-yard line. Mike Butler, 77, and Kelly Kirchbaum, 51, gang up on Johnson, who has finally started to bust loose here in the 2nd half.
When you need 2 yards, they look to run right over 66 George Yarno, and Yarno cleared down the field already, and Billy Johnson, all he has to do is get up inside, get the 1st down, and then fight for the extra yardage.
1st and 10. Another solid drive being put together by Galliano in the Denver Gold. Vince Evans, a dislocated finger, did not return to the 2nd half. He's got a man. 82 is Lonnie Turner, and they're going to say incomplete. Turner was wide open. Alonzo Johnson, 58, was on the coverage, and that is the first time that Galliano has ventured down the middle.
and the first time he's missed an open wide receiver, because Turner was wide open. He threw it short.
You didn't think Turner should have made the catch? I mean, you know, I know wide receivers got to stick up for one another.
That was a smart throw by Galliano, though. You don't want it to get away. And
second and 10 from the 36. 5:40 left to go, third quarter. Gold trails by 10. Galliano inside the 30, inside the 25. He's got a first down at the 22-yard line. And maybe he's not as quick as Vince Evans. Maybe he doesn't have the running ability. But he certainly found the open spaces on that run.
He's getting the job done, and you can't short him for that. Nordgren takes the outside move, and guess who? George Yarno takes him outside. Now watch the move. That's pretty good athletic move by Galliano. And he knows where the first down yardage is. He also knows he's the only healthy quarterback left, and he's getting down before somebody drills it.
Well, he had to be a baseball player at one time in his career. First and 10 at the 23. Vincent White in motion to the far side. Bill Johnson's got a hole. Johnson's got one man to beat. Johnson turns it on. Touchdown. Bill Johnson had Marcus Quinn to beat. 6'1", 225, and he just ran right by that free safety.
I said earlier about Bill Johnson, for a 225-pound fullback, usually they look to run over somebody. Bill Johnson has the moves of a little scat back, and you'll see him right here. Most big fullbacks don't have this kind of speed. Marcus Quinn's no slowpoke. He ran right around him. High steps into the end zone. And the Denver Gold's right back in this football game with a second-string quarterback that haven't played very much this year.
Bill Johnson leads the United States Football League in yards per carry. His average 7.1. He has rushed for over 518 yards. Spielman to attempt the point after, and he got it. And we got a ball game with 4:40 left to go in the third quarter. The Tampa Bay Bandits lead is now down to 3. 20-17. And we'll return to Tampa Stadium in just a moment. Run for Bill Johnson. And for Johnson, his 6th TD of the year. Gold kicking it off. Tough one to handle. Bobby Futrell squirms around, gets across the 25 to the 26-yard line. So the Denver Gold has put together 2 outstanding drives behind Bob Galliano, and they trail by 3. Bob Galliano's come on in the third quarter to lead the Denver Gold on a couple of touchdown drives. One 8 plays, 78 yards. The other 8 plays, 62 yards. Bill Johnson touchdown run, a touchdown pass to Lewis, and we've got a 2017 football game. 4 minutes, 14 seconds left to go, third quarter. John Reeves, that pass deflected at the line of scrimmage. 79 Ogren might have got his second deflection of the night. 6'5" and 265 out of the University of Wyoming. Both teams have suffered injuries tonight. Gary Anderson will not be back. He's got a sprained foot. And Vince Evans, a dislocated finger, the ring finger on his right hand.
And Ricky Williams is running well for Gary Anderson, and Galliano's playing super for Vince Evans.
Second down and 10 from the 26. Delaney has checked in as an extra defensive back. Reeves going downfield, intercepted. David Martin comes up with the interception. He gets 1 block and 2 blocks, and he runs it out of bounds at the 46-yard line. The intended receiver was Jim Fitzpatrick, making his first appearance of the evening. Delaney was right up on him at the line of scrimmage, and a good job of coverage by Martin, who makes his second interception of the year.
Reeves has had 2 touchdowns thrown in his offense. He's trying to get it back quickly, goes up top, and the guy who has really been a thorn in the Tampa Bay Bandits side and John Reeves' side has been number 13, David Martin. And Martin makes another big interception and gives Galliano and the offense the ball back again with a chance to at least tie or even take the lead.
He's had a great history against John Reeves, the Tampa Bay Bandits. 5th interception against the Bandits in his career. Vincent White in motion. First and 10 from the 46. White makes the reception. White trying to find some room. White gets down to the 41-yard line. They're asking for a face mask. Denver will not get the call. Alonzo Johnson, 58, and Vincent White, he did a lot of work to get a little extra yardage, didn't he, Mike?
Vincent White, John Elway's favorite receiver at Stanford.
Sure
Caught
was.
a bunch from him, and an outstanding running back in his day. Most wide receivers will step out of bounds, but the ex-running backs, hey, they want to get all the running they can get. Let's see if he got a face mask. There it is, right on it. Did he grab hold? No, he slipped his hand off. Good call. A no call.
Denver Gold, 5th in total offense in the United States Football League. Tampa Bay, 1st in total offense. 1st and 10. At the 36-yard line, Leonard Harris was the man in motion. This is Bill Johnson. A couple of stutter steps get him to the 33-yard line. 74 in on the tackle, Ron Simmons from Florida State. One of those 6'1", 260-pound nose guards that Tampa has.
Only a 3-yard gain, 2 3-yard gain for Bill Johnson. But again, you saw he doesn't like to be called a fullback. He likes to be called a running back. He's got more moves than most fullbacks, and he'll make people miss instead of looking for somebody to run into.
It's been night and day for Johnson, first half to second half. 2:26 left to go, third quarter. Leonard Harris in motion to the near side. Option with Galliano, he'll take it. And he'll get out of bounds just short of the first down. Bruce Vaughn, number 30, will drive him out. And Denver just about a yard shy of the first down. Tom Davis, 52, the center from the University of Nebraska, a little bit slow in getting up. Bill Johnson, unofficially, 11 carries, 91 yards and a touchdown. And that's what Galliano's done, rushing the football. He hasn't done that this year.
No, he hasn't. Mouse Davis holding his breath. Now, Mike Fisher can suit up. He's the third quarterback, the extra man, but he hadn't taken a snap, nor has he played in the game. And Mouse doesn't want Galliano getting hurt, too.
2:17 to go in the third. Third down and 1. Harris in motion. Bill Johnson. Look at him drive inside the 25 to the 23-yard line. You can hear when Fred Nordgren and Bill Johnson collide down in the field.
Fred Nordgren is a truck, and he's trying to stop a truck, too. 68, whack. Right on top of it. And we were talking about Fred. Watch he and Tom Davis go at it. Don't hold him now, Tommy. And he didn't. Oh,
great scramble block.
Yes, outstanding
Give Ray
block.
Wagner. Well, I'll tell you, that's right how they teach it.
Yes, they do.
Stay after the guy. First and 10 from the 23. Galliano with some pressure. He loses the football. 78, James Ramey, for the second time tonight, looping from the outside. He got to Evans for a sack. Galliano coughed it up. But George Yarno, the veteran from Washington State, recovers the fumble. 74, very slow on getting up. Mike Neese, and he'll come out of the game. So the Denver Gold already losing Greg Fiesel, their starting left tackle. Mike Neese gets off the field by himself. He is the right guard. And Greg Loberg, 61, his second year from Cal, checks in. Second and 12. Vincent White in motion. 1:02 left to go, third quarter. Galliano had 2 men in the quarter. 88 Lewis was there, and 44 Vincent White. It looked as though Lewis was the intended receiver.
Good coverage by the Tampa Bay Bandits, and a good throw by Galliano. Again, if you're going to throw it where nobody can intercept it, or maybe your receiver can make a great catch. But don't get it picked off when you've made this fine a drive.
2 possessions so far in the quarter, and Denver has scored touchdowns on both of them. They're faced with a third down and 12, and this has been their downfall this year. Their third down completion ratio about 26-27%. It's very important here for Galliano. His really a big test for him now.
Yes,
this third down.
Although Mouse Davis says we're always in 3rd and 10.
Yeah, that's right. Less than a minute to go, third quarter. Galliano goes back to the other side. That's Harris. Harris still moving. And Harris is brought down way short. of the first down at the 22-yard line. Tried to run east-west instead of north-south. Nordgren, 68, got back there, and also Bruce Vaughn was in the area. And that'll set up a field goal attempt for number 4, Brian Spielman. Ball resting at the 22-yard line. Galliano's the holder. And he'll place it down. Looks to be right on the 30, so make it a 40-yard attempt. And Spielman is 1 of 1 from 40 to 49 yards into a slight wind. He's got the distance, but it's no good. And they are going to question this. Galliano is visibly upset, and so is Spielman. I don't think you can drop the red flag on that one, can you, Mike?
No, you can't. That's not part of the rules.
He had plenty of distance on that into a slight breeze. Let's look at it from the end zone.
They're real upset. Spielman lets it slide a little bit. Boy, from this angle. Oh, goodness. Oh, no. Just wide. Good call.
12 seconds left to go. Third quarter. The Bandits lead the goal 20-17. 40-yard attempt by Brian Spielman out of the hold of Bob Galliano.
Good hold. Clean through. Let's watch Spielman. See his reaction. He thinks he's got it. And then they wave it off, and he's looking for somebody to complain to. Look at Mouse Davis. Now, Mouse is on the sideline. He hasn't got the great angle, but he thinks it's good, too.
It looks like he's going to get sick or something.
I think he knew it was bad, too.
And the Tampa Bay Bandits let the clock run out to end the third quarter of play. Tampa Stadium, better than 54,000 on hand. Two teams battling for the lead in their respective divisions. The Bandits lead it 20-17.
Nothing.
Roger Twibell, Mike Hafner back with you. We start the final 15 minutes from Tampa Stadium. The Bandits lead at 20-17. They'll bring it around to Ricky Williams. Williams up to the 28-yard line where Steve Trimble, 47, will make the tackle. So they faked to the right side. They came back to the left side with Williams, starting to mix it up on the ground a little bit.
What Reeves did after the 2 touchdowns were thrown at him was try to get it back real quick, and you can't do that against this defense. You've got to take your time and maintain the football.
Take a look at third quarter stats, and Denver with 10 minutes and 33 seconds of possession in the third quarter as compared to Tampa Bay 4 minutes and 27 seconds. Ball up to the 29-yard line with Williams carrying it just short of the first down. It's been a very interesting football game. 3-0 after the first quarter, Denver. Tampa Bay dominated the second quarter, scored 17 points. Actually scored 20 points, excuse me. 20-3, and then 2 touchdowns by the goal in the third quarter. Third down and 3.
Important play here for Reeves and his offense.
Spencer Jackson with the catch across the 40 to the 41-yard line. Keep in mind Trevelyan out with the injury. Gillespie is suited up. He's been in on a couple of plays. They went to Larry Brodsky early, Mike. Now, what has Denver done defensively to cut Brodsky off here in the second half?
We saw it on the very first offensive play. 2 men covering Brodsky. You saw Delaney right up on his nose and Nate Miller deep. And they've taken Brodsky away. Reeves has seen it. Now they've got to have somebody else to go to. And without Anderson, it really cuts his options down.
Boone is the up back. Ricky Williams, 44 now, will shift. Great defensive play by David Martin, the intended receiver Larry Brodsky, who came down and might have twisted an ankle. Brodsky at the 25-yard line is coming off the field right now, and Fitzpatrick, 83, will replace him.
So now they're down 3 receivers. Great play by David.
Isn't that something?
David Martin's got him covered cold. Now watch when he comes down. You'll see that foot hit, then turn.
The left foot.
Left ankle.
Well, that hurts up here.
Oh, yes, it does. I saw him. I'm limping already.
So Brodsky comes out. Gary Anderson will not be back because he has a sprained foot.
That was their two big threats in the second period.
Mentioned Calvin Turner last week, 4 sacks and a fumble recovery. We've hardly mentioned his name tonight. 2nd and 10 from the 42-yard line. Reeves coming near side. The intended receiver, Spencer Jackson, who's complaining about interference. Nate Miller was on the coverage, and maybe Nate Miller is glad to be on Spencer Jackson instead of Larry Brodsky.
Yes, because they ate him up in the first half. Had eight catches. There's Jackson trying the fade route again. It's out over the shoulder, and he wants interference, but you know why it wasn't called. That ball was uncatchable, and therefore no play.
Greg Boone comes out of the game, and 11 Steve Carter checks in. You remember on the opening kickoff,
Yes.
Carter bruised his kneecap. This is the first time he's returned to action. So they will have a lone setback right now, and Ricky Williams and Fitzpatrick 83, and Brodsky is back in 82, come split to the near side on 3rd down and 10. Brodsky, a first down at the 39-yard line. Steve Trimble, 47, makes the tackle, and it's 3rd and 10. What are you going to do?
Go to Brodsky. The control receiver across the middle with the great hands. Now, when the adrenaline's pumping, you can get over that slightly turned ankle. Watch the hands on Brodsky. Just a great catch.
He is having the best night of his professional football career. Look at the matchup here.
Yes, and the guy who's really helping him is 73 Dan Fike. He has taken Calvin Turner totally out of the game. And a great move. Nice hip turn, and just cuts him down. And Turner hadn't been anywhere near Reeves all night.
Both these teams came into this contest 23 sacks apiece, tied for 2nd in the United States Football League. They've each gotten a couple tonight, but Fike has really done an outstanding job on Calvin Turner, who is the main man with 7 sacks coming into this game for the Denver Gold. Brodsky, we mentioned, having one of his best nights as the officials are conferring at the 40-yard line. 9 receptions, 116 yards. Last week, he had 5 for, I mean, you don't have to have 4.4 speed to play wide receiver in the USFL or the NFL or the CFL.
Quarterbacks love receivers that don't drop the football.
1st and 10 from the 39. Tampa leads 2017. Penalty markers down. Intercepted by that man, David Martin. Martin comes up with his 2nd interception of the night, his 6th against Tampa Bay in his career. The intended receiver was Steve Carter. There was a penalty marker dropped on the near side. There was a penalty marker dropped on the far side of the field.
Somebody jumped originally, whether it's offense or defense, and then I think it was a clip on the return.
Defense. Offside.
Oh,
Number 73.
that hurt.
73 was the man offside. That's Mike Talafero. Well, as you look at John Reeves and David Martin, they have had a great matchup. The first game they met each other, Reeves set a USFL record with 63 attempts, 38 completions. The Bandits won at 22-16 in overtime. Game 2, Reeves only 7 of 13. He had 2 passes intercepted by Martin, and then Martin picked off a 3rd pass from Jimmy Jordan. And it went on and on after that. 12-13 left to go in this football game. 1st and 5 from the 39. That's Greg Boone. Boone inside the 30 to the 29. Reggie Singletary, 77 over. Also 59, John Nevins.
John Nevins, the very active middle linebacker for the Denver Gold, reads the quick pitch, and with his speed, comes across and makes the tackle, and that's what a middle linebacker has to do in the 4-3.
We mentioned at the top of the show that if 60,000 fans showed up tonight, the Tampa Bay Bandits, John Bassett, would give away $1 million. They didn't quite get to 60.
But he gave it away
But they
anyway.
said, what the heck? And George and Francine Townsend of Tampa, Florida, have won $1 million.
And they bought end zone seats.
No
That ain't
question
a bad
about
deal,
that.
huh? It's not a bad deal.
2nd and 1 from the 29. Boone again. And Boone's inside the 25 to the 24. Steve Trimble, 47. And Stan Blinka, the veteran, number 50, make the tackle. But it's a 1st down for Tampa Bay. And a good drive they put together here. Once again, the mistake, turnovers and penalties have hurt Denver. The interception by Martin and the offsides penalty nullified it.
And to turn the momentum that Denver has gotten in this fourth quarter, third and fourth quarter, with the 2 touchdown drives, Reeves wants to come away from here with points. He's got to at least have a field goal if he can't get it in the end zone. 1st and 10 from the 24. Clock running, 10:40 left to go. Boone once again. Boone, 6 carries, 21 yards, and this has been his most productive night in many, many moons. Came into the game averaging just 3.7 yards per carry. Calvin Turner, 99, one of the men in on the tackle. This should be a well-rested Denver Gold defense. They were only on the field for about 4 minutes in the third quarter. Also, Boone looks like he's sucking it up a little bit. He's not used to this. Gary Anderson usually carries the ball a lot. Now he's getting some extra work. Well, they list him at 5'9", 196. You know he's probably 210. 2nd down and 7. Reeves, Spencer Jackson. Darrell Hemphill was right there, but it's very close to a first down at the 12-yard line. And Spencer Jackson from the University of Florida did get enough for the first down. One thing that Steve Spurrier has found out, when Gillespie does get completely healthy and when Eric Trevelyan does come back, he's got 4 wide receivers he can count on. And he might throw all 4 at him at some teams down the road. 1st and 10, ball at the 12-yard line. That's Carter, number 11, split to the near side. Pitch back to Boone. Boone, touchdown, Tampa Bay. On the touchdown run for Greg Boone, his first touchdown of the year for the Tampa Bay Bandits, and he got a big-time block. Number 73, Dan Fike. And Fike has been the great pass blocker all night. Now, there, look at Spurrier. Yes, sir. Super. Put it on him. Super. Well, what a great job for Dan Fike, 73, the left offensive tackle. All night been protecting Reeves, has shut down Calvin Turner. Now he makes the pull on the quick move and gets the big block for the score. And the Z-man still perfect. He hasn't missed since May of '84 on extra points. And with 9:11 left to go in this football game, the Bandits lead it 27-17. 27-17. That's the man, Greg Boone, who's picked up the slack with Gary Anderson out of the game. Chris Foote telling him to say hello to Mom. The injured center for Tampa Bay. They never say hi, Dad. No, they never do. Z-man kicks it off, and Lonnie Turner. Turner still on his feet across the 40 to the 41-yard line. And Bob Galliano in the Denver Gold will have good field position. The Bandits lead 27-17. We've had a great second half of football so far in Tampa. 27-17, 9 minutes left to go. Bob Galliano, the quarterback, replacing the injured Vince Evans. And he comes out throwing right away, and his receiver is Leonard Harris, and he is stopped there by Dwayne Anderson. On that last kickoff, this man, number 22, Joel Blunk, made the tackle. He also sang the national anthem before tonight's game, playing his guitar. Did a good job, too. Outstanding voice. They call him the playing bandit. The singing bandit. Goodness. There's a look at the yardage and how things have turned around in the second half, and Bob Galliano has been responsible for that difference. One thing about the run and shoot, they're always playing like they're behind. 2nd and 8. Harris goes in motion. Option, Galliano across midfield, and he dives down to the 45-yard line. Mike, did you realize he was able to do that? No. And you've known him for a long time. I have. He played with my brother Patrick in Pop Warner football. They went 22-0. And I'll tell you what, I've never seen him run the football like this. But he's a winner. He's a winner. He'll do anything to win.
Well, he was a starter at Glendale Junior College in California, went to U.S. International down in San Diego, started there, then transferred to Utah State.
Then went to Kansas City, San Antonio, Denver. He's been around. One more team, he catches up with me.
Well, he's on the Ameripass system. 1st and 10 from the 46-yard line. 7:35. Harris in motion to the far side. Penalty markers down. Harris makes the reception. Harris will be knocked out of bounds. Call it the 37-yard line. Alvin Bailey knocks him out of bounds. Penalty marker was down on the play. What does Denver?
Illegal formation. Offense, number 78. Still first down.
Ray Wagner, an offensive lineman, called for an illegal formation. What I wanted to ask Denver now.
From the football on him, although Galliano has done fairly well. But they'll take a little more conservative pass rush, knowing that he's going to stay in the pocket more.
1st and 15 now. Call it the 49-yard line. Ball just behind midfield. Harris is the man in motion. Galliano, Vincent White, the intended receiver at the 45, and he simply dropped the football. That was a catchable pass. Galliano throws a soft ball. He doesn't, I mean, this has got to be a difference for the wide receivers. They're used to Evans throwing those bullets in there.
Yes, he's got a cannon for an arm, and I think the receivers like it a little bit better. There's some touch. The one thing that happens, though, is what happened to Vince Evans, or to Vince White. He's saying, hurry up and get to me so I can run with the football, and he ran before it got there.
2nd and 15. Vincent White, the man in motion. Galliano's got Harris. He loses the football, and Tampa comes up with it. Marcus Quinn, 40, comes up with it. Dwayne Anderson made the hit on Leonard Harris, and Marcus Quinn was the man on the spot, and another turnover for the Denver goal.
And this ball doesn't hit the ground. Harris wide open, a great throw right on the button. Now watch the ball, never touches the ground. Clean interception by Marcus Quinn. Here's what a free safety is supposed to do. He plays center field, picks off anything comes his way, and he got it.
That's the second fumble Dwayne Anderson has caused tonight.
Yes.
And I have to pick a man defensively. Dwayne Anderson and a man on offense, Dan Fike, have had big games. 6:52 left to go.
Yeah, I got it.
6:42 left to go. 1st and 10 for Tampa Bay from their own 24-yard line. They lead at 27-17. And they'd like to eat up some of the clock right now as they give it to Boone, and Ogren, 79, bends him backwards at the 25-yard line. Officially called a completion to Harris and a fumble with Marcus Quinn, the man on the spot, but Dwayne Anderson, the man that stripped it away.
They're going to call on Greg Boone now to control this clock. And I don't know if he's up to it stamina-wise.
Yeah, we're going to see if he's in shape, huh?
Yes, we are. Now, you don't want to throw the football here, make a mistake, especially in your own territory, and give the goal a chance to score. So it's going to be up to Boone and Williams to run the football and get some first down.
2nd and 8 from the 26-yard line. Reeves, 16 of 30 for 259 yards in the game. Brodsky, the intended receiver, and Nate Miller on the coverage, and rack up another win for Miller in the battle of Brodsky and Miller.
Fans want interference on this play, and it's a fade route again. Nate Miller has the same right to the route of the ball. A little push from both of them, so there's no foul, no harm, no foul. I don't think the ball could have been caught either.
Brodsky, 9 receptions, 116 yards, and Jackson, 4 receptions for 91 yards. As you take a look at Larry Brodsky, 6 foot, 190, his 3rd year from the University of Miami.
Not a bad evening.
His best ever, 3rd and 8. Reeves hangs in the pocket. Scott Jackson. David Martin brings him down, but a penalty marker down. Excuse me, Willie Gillespie made the reception. Just the second appearance of the night for Gillespie. And a personal foul call against the Denver Gold.
I believe they hit Reeves in the face on the pass rush, and you can't go to the head of the quarterback when you're on that rush. So they'll tack the 15 on the end of this play.
Reeves had plenty of time, moved up nicely in the pocket, Mike.
We'll take a look. You cannot go to his head. Pat Ogren, 79, right to the chops. 15 yards. And I'll tell you, Jackson almost was gone. Gillespie was almost
just his
gone.
Second appearance of the night. Gillespie, who had not played since the opening game of the year, and his first catch.
David Martin got him by the shirt, and that's it. There's a good, perfect grab.
We told you at the top, they've been penalized 117 more yards than their opponents coming into this game, and that's a graphic example right there. 1st and 10 from the 40. The Bandits in good shape. That's Spencer Jackson in motion. Ricky Williams. And as the Denver Gold controlled the football in the 3rd quarter, the Tampa Bay Bandits controlling it in the 4th quarter. Doug Mikolas makes the tackle. Darrell Hemphill also there. If Tampa Bay wins this game, they move into a tie with Birmingham, first place in the Eastern Conference. If Denver can win it, they're in sole possession at first. If they lose, they're tied with Houston.
Do you mean that they came into the game thinking, well, we can lose this one?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Jackson, 5 receptions, 110 yards. He's in motion. Ricky Williams has his helmet ripped off, and another penalty marker goes down. Terry Irvin and Nate Miller, the tacklers. This has been a physical football game. There have been some injuries. There have been some very hard hits. There is a Denver Gold player down right now.
First down.
Face mask against Denver.
Boone's the lead blocker, and he makes a great block, Roger, which is about to spring Williams. And the only way to keep him from getting big yardage is grab the face mask. And it's number 50 for the goal.
Stan Blinken.
The old veteran says 44 yards, or do I get him here and take the 5-yard penalty?
It's a veteran play, huh?
Yes.
4:21 left to go in this football game. Bandits in good shape with a 10-point lead. 20 goals with a 3-game winning streak on the line. Tampa Bay looking for their 3rd consecutive win and 17 of 20 regular season games at home. Ricky Williams, and he is pulled down right at the 25-yard line. Mike Taliaferro and Pat Ogren. Reggie Singletary had to leave the game, limped off with help. There have been a number of injuries tonight. As you take a look at Mike Taliaferro, rookie from Texas Christian University, 6'4" and 280. Right, Tampa has been a good team the last year and a half. If they win tonight, 17 out of their last 20 regular season games.
Steve Spurrier, the head coach, said we've done everything right except win a championship. This might be our year.
2nd and 12 from the 25. 3:20 left to go. Both teams with 3 timeouts apiece. And they're just chewing up clock right now. Just chewing up the clock. Walls and Nevins bring Boone down at the 24-yard line. Only concern I would have if I was Mouse Davis at this time with Galliano, he isn't the deep threat that Vince Evans is. You're not going to get it back in a hurry, are you?
You're not going to get the big bomb out of Galliano, and you want to stay in the lead with a quarterback like that. He's very good at running the pass offense and maintaining the ball. But when you get down by 10 points, you like to have Vince who can throw the big bomb. 3rd down and 11. They're in field goal range for the Z-Man. 2:38 left to go. Reeves will put it up one more time. And a penalty marker goes down. Now, the intended receiver, or at least where the marker was thrown, was in the area of Spencer Jackson. Darrell Hemphill was covering him. But the ball was overthrown 20 yards downfield. You only get one, you can't get a bump past the 5-yard mark. Okay. You can't bump him whether they're throwing the ball somewhere else or to the receiver that was bumped.
That explains that. And
inside the 5.
I'm certainly glad I have a former wide receiver upstairs here next to me.
Yeah, the problem was they didn't have the rule when I was playing. They bumped me everywhere.
I can tell you all about holding.
Okay.
So that's a first down, and once again another penalty for the Denver Gold. And that has been the story tonight. Penalties, turnovers have opened the door for the opportunistic Tampa Bay Bandits. They have it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line with 2:08 left to go in this game. Ricky Williams down to the 15, and we've moved down to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes left to go. Tampa Bay leads Denver by 10, 27-17. Spielman, a 22-yard field goal in the first quarter. Andrusician, 42 yards. Then an Anderson 1-yard run. A Jackson 61-yard pass from Reeves, and Andrusician again. Then in the third quarter, Lewis, a 7-yard pass from Galliano. Bill Johnson, a 23-yard run, and then Boone, the 12-yard run, and that's the way it stands, 27-17. The Bandits lead the Gold, 2 minutes left to go. Denver has all 3 of its timeouts. Ricky Williams, and dragged down on a fine play by Terry Irvin, number 56, a rookie from the University of Colorado.
Gold to use their first time out here, I think.
Trailing by 10, the Gold might realize just more than a loss in the one-loss column. They have lost some valuable people. 3rd and 7 from the 17. Wide open is Gillespie, knocked out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Darrell Hemphill, 25, and you gotta love the aggressive play of the Tampa Bay Bandits. 3rd down, they lead by 10. It'd be real easy to sit there, run it, let Z kick a field goal. They're going for 7 more.
Isn't that what they call bandit ball? Spurrier says we're always behind, so we're playing to score.
They've averaged over 28 points a game this year. They are right on that, and they will get better than that. They are the top offense in the United States Football League, 9th by the run, 2nd by the pass, 1st overall.
And I've got a feeling Steve Spurrier would like to show Mouse Davis that his conventional type offense works just as well as the run and shoot.
That's what Spurrier told us. He says everybody talks about the run and shoot, but coming into the game, we had thrown the football more times than the Denver Gold. Tampa has just asked for a timeout with Baltimore. Tampa Bay will be at Birmingham, and that'll be a showdown for first place. And then, of course, we'll have San Antonio at Oakland a week from tonight. 1st and goal from the 3-yard line. Ricky Williams. Calvin Turner had him by the ankles and brings him to a halt. Gain of about a yard on the play. And I think Steve Spurrier has found out a little bit more about Ricky Williams tonight with the absence of Anderson, and maybe found out that Boone isn't as in bad a shape as he thought he is.
I think he's just going to say, we're going to leave you out there and get you in shape by handing you the football. You know, that's the first time we've called Calvin Turner's name, maybe once or twice all night, and he's been their #1 guy on defense.
I think Fike and Dwayne Anderson have both had exceptional games. 1:12 left to go, 2nd and goal from the 2-yard line. Ricky Williams again. He's very close. Very, very close. Kilkenny, 58, one of the men there. Less than a minute to go now, and the Gold with both timeouts, or rather 2 timeouts left, will take a timeout. That's Reggie Singletary, and unfortunately for the Denver Gold, they have had several players leave tonight. Greg Fiesel went off with a knee injury in the first half. Mike Neese also left with a knee injury. Singletary has left with a knee injury. Vince Evans dislocated the ring finger on that right hand. You can see the tape around the index finger. 9 of 19, 106 yards, and the 1 interception. 3rd down and goal from the 1. Ricky Williams, is he hit by Pat Ogren? Is he hit by Ogren? 79. The clock has been stopped.
Pat Ogren, 79, is going to take Ricky Williams, turn him upside down. Did they give him a touchdown?
I haven't seen a signal. Did they give it to him?
If they gave him a touchdown,
they did give him a touchdown.
I'd throw the red flag there.
Well, I don't know if anybody wanted to call that, and they have thrown the red flag. What a stick by 79 Pat Ogren. So, Mouse Davis, but what a stick by Nevins and then Ogren.
Timeout.
Well,
charge to Denver. That means it's touchdown, right?
He didn't signal it, but we're going to go ahead and say it was the TD.
Mouse isn't very happy.
So, Mouse came in. What was he? One and one.
1-1
coming in. Now he's 1 out of 3.
It's true.
So give Williams the touchdown, make it 33-17, and the point after by Andrusician. With 48 seconds left to go.
It was really a moot point on whether he scored or not, as far as who's going to win this football game or not.
And the Z-Man misses for the first time since May of '84. He had hit 29 in a row this year. He'd hit 53 in a row going back to May of '84. So all good things come to an end.
I'll take the monkey off his back.
Yeah, I get the monkey off his back.
Inconsequential extra point, too. It was one that didn't make any difference. And those are the ones you want to miss, not one that puts you into a Rose Bowl. And some
by Denver penalties and turnovers.
And maybe the best stat of the night, Dan Fike has shut out Calvin Turner.
Yes, he has. Squibbit. Denver goal, Tom Kilkenny. A backup linebacker gets a fleet moment of glory as he takes it to the 40-yard line and ran right over Greg Loberg. Bob Galliano, you got to like the job that he did coming in the second half. Scored a couple of TDs, got him within 3, 2017, and then another pretty good drive going downfield and a pass that was caught and then knocked loose.
That's exactly what you want out of a backup quarterback. When your number one guy gets hurt, you've got to come in and produce, and Galliano's done the job. Unfortunately, his team's down.
1st and 10 for the goal from the 40-yard line. They have one timeout remaining. Vincent White near side. White doesn't get out of bounds, but it's a first down, and that will stop the clock. But you lose a couple of seconds there.
Could have stepped out, but again, he knew that in the USFL, inside 2 minutes, when you get a first down, the clock stops.
I know you're not a doctor, but dislocated fingers. Throwing hand.
Jim Kelly came back 2 weeks ago from it, played in the second half. It depends upon how bad it is.
Galliano finds Leonard Harris. Clock stops as Harris comes out of bounds on the near side.
If they should score here, Roger, your second string quarterback comes in, gets you 21 points, and you still get beat.
Coming into this game between Tampa Bay and Denver, they'd played 3 times previously, and 3 points had been the deciding factor when you totaled up the points from the series. And the John Reeves, David Martin show, well, the nod has to go to Reeves, I guess, this time.
Yeah, it does.
Even though Martin had 1 interception, had another, was called back because of a penalty. 2nd and 6. Swing it to the near side, Mark Lewis. And Lewis will get out of bounds at the 36-yard line. 20 seconds left to go. Well, we hope you've enjoyed this game tonight. Good crowd here in Tampa. We got lucky all day, Mike. 2 to 3 inches of rain went south on us, missed us. Ended up with a good football game.
Great crowd and $1 million winner. Not a bad day.
I think you can ask for much more than that.
Well, one of us could have won the $1 million.
And we didn't buy a ticket, though, pal. 1st and 10. Galliano showing you some running ability. Oh, there's a smart QB. When he saw those red jerseys, he couldn't get to the sideline fast enough.
Good quarterbacks know that you're not paid to run into big linebackers.
12 seconds left. You know, looking at Galliano reminds me just a little bit of June Jones.
doesn't it?
Coach for the Denver Gold, who was with Mouse at Houston and a
Played
former
Atlanta.
quarterback with Atlanta.
In fact, started the season when Bartkowski got hurt one year and was fairly successful.
12 seconds left to go. Still a timeout left for the Gold. They trail at 33-17. Galliano 13 of 19 for 119 yards and 1 TD. Third down and 9. 7 seconds left to go. Screen pass didn't work. White made the reception, and Alonzo